Welcome to Everyday Dharma Talks, where silence becomes insight. There was a time many years ago when I worked in a small office with a shared kitchen. In this kitchen, every day, one of my colleagues would leave his used teacup in the sink. Just one cup. He wouldn't wash it. He would just place it there gently, as if it were an offering. And every day I would see it and feel a small hot spark of irritation. In my mind, I built a complete picture of this man. He was inconsiderate. He was lazy. He believed he was too important to wash his own cup, expecting someone else, perhaps me, to do it for him. This tiny daily act became, for me, the defining feature of his entire character. My judgment was swift and it was absolute. I would pass him in the hallway and my smile would be a little tighter. My good morning would be a little cooler. I was certain I knew exactly who he was. All because of a single teacup in a sink. I carried this feeling around like a stone in my pocket, a small hard weight of righteousness. One afternoon, I was the last one leaving the office. As I walked past the kitchen, I saw him standing at the sink. He wasn't leaving his cup. He was washing it, and then he washed another and another. He was washing all the cups left in the sink from the entire day. I stopped, confused. He turned and saw me, and a tired but gentle smile crossed his face. "Ah," he said quietly, "just cleaning up. My wife is very ill at the moment. The hospital calls often during the day, and sometimes I have to leave in a hurry. I always feel badly about the cup, so I try to make up for it when I can." He dried his hands, picked up his bag, and left. I stood there alone in the quiet kitchen. The hum of the refrigerator suddenly loud in the silence. The stone of judgment in my pocket felt impossibly heavy. It hadn't been about him at all. His story was one of worry, of love, of distraction and private sorrow. My story, the one I had told myself, was one of arrogance and disrespect. But the story I told wasn't really about him. The sharpness of my judgment, it was about me. It was about my own rigid rules for how the world should operate. It was about my own fear of being taken for granted. My irritation was a reflection of my own internal landscape, not his. He was just a man with a sick wife and a teacup. The lesson from that day has never left me. When we judge another person, we are not defining who they are. We are revealing a map of our own fears, our own insecurities, and our own unhealed wounds. We often believe there is a kind of satisfaction in judgment. It feels like a moment of power, doesn't it? A flash of certainty in a confusing world. For that brief instant when we decide we know who someone is, we place ourselves on higher ground. We draw a clear line between us and them, between right and wrong. This satisfaction is like the brilliant, fleeting flash of a firework. It explodes in the darkness, demanding attention, painting the sky with its certainty. And for a moment, it is everything. It fades, leaving the darkness even more profound than before. And what are we left with? A faint trail of smoke and the echo of a loud noise. We are left feeling empty, and we immediately seek another firework to light. This is the cycle of judgment. It is a constant search for fleeting moments of superiority, moments that burn out and leave us needing more. It is an exhausting, unsustainable way to live. True and sustainable satisfaction is not a firework. It is the sun. It does not burst forth in a moment of drama. It rises slowly, steadily, and without any need for an audience. Its warmth is constant. Its light illuminates everything without preference. The sun does not judge the flower for blooming or the stone for sitting still. It simply shines on both, revealing them as they are. This is the satisfaction that comes from non-judgment. It is the deep, quiet peace of letting things be. It is the profound relief of taking ourselves off the judge's bench. When we stop spending our energy evaluating everyone who crosses our path, that energy doesn't just disappear. It turns inward. It becomes a gentle, warming light. This warmth is the feeling of self-acceptance. Because the secret is that every judgment we cast outward is a judgment we are also casting inward. When we call someone lazy, We are often speaking to the part of ourselves that fears we are not doing enough. When we call someone arrogant, we are often speaking to the part of ourselves that feels small and overlooked. The practice of letting go of judgment is therefore not an act of kindness we do for others. It is the greatest act of kindness we can do for ourselves. It is choosing the steady, life-giving warmth of the sun over the momentary, empty flash of the firework. I would like to invite you to try an experiment. Not to become a perfect person who never judges. That is an impossible goal. The mind produces judgments like the lungs breathe air. It is a natural automatic process. The invitation is simply to become curious. The next time you feel that familiar spark, that hot, swift feeling of certainty about another person, I invite you to pause. Just for a single breath. Don't try to force the judgment away. Don't scold yourself for having it. That is just another form of judgment. Instead, gently turn your attention inward. And with as much compassion as you can find, ask yourself a simple question. What is this judgment showing me about myself? Perhaps you see someone on social media celebrating an achievement, and you feel the judgment of show off or arrogant rise within you. Pause. Ask the question. Maybe the mirror is showing you a place inside yourself that feels unrecognized. A part of you that longs to be seen and celebrated. Perhaps someone cuts you off in traffic, and you think, what a selfish, terrible person. Pause. Ask the question. Maybe the mirror is showing you your own exhaustion. Your own feeling that you are navigating the world alone, and no one is making space for you. Maybe you hear someone express an opinion you find ignorant, and you feel the wall of judgment go up. Pause. Ask the question. Maybe the mirror is showing you your own fear of your deep need for the world to make sense according to your own rules. The judgment itself is not the problem. It is a messenger. It is a signpost pointing directly to a part of your own heart that is in need of attention. A part that is afraid, or hurting or feeling unseen. The advice is this: treat your judgments not as verdicts about others, but as loving messages from yourself to yourself. Welcome them with curiosity. Thank them for the information they bring. Turn your compassion to the place inside you that they have revealed. This is how the stone in your pocket begins to dissolve. This practice is not found in grand gestures, but in the smallest moments of our ordinary days. It is a quiet internal shift. It's in the grocery store line. You notice the person in front of you has a cart overflowing with sugary snacks and processed foods. The judgment how unhealthy might arise. This is the moment. Instead of following that thought, you can gently ask, what is this showing me? Perhaps it is reflecting your own anxieties about health, your own struggle to feel in control of your body. You can offer yourself a breath of compassion for that struggle. The person in front of you becomes a reminder to be kind to yourself. It's when you are listening to a friend talk about their problems. You might feel the thought, they always complain about the same thing. Why don't they just do something about it? This is the moment. Ask the question. Perhaps the mirror is showing you your own impatience with parts of yourself that are stuck. Perhaps it is reflecting your own desire for quick, easy solutions to your own pain. The friend's story becomes an opportunity to soften toward your own unresolved struggles. It's in the silence of your own home, looking at the dust on the shelf you haven't had the energy to cleanse. The inner critic, the harshest judge of all, might say you are lazy. You are failing. This is the moment. Treat this inner voice with the same curiosity. Ask it, what are you showing me? Perhaps it is showing you that you are tired, that you are overwhelmed, that you need rest, not criticism. The dust on the shelf becomes an invitation for self-care. Meaning is found right here, in these tiny pivots from condemnation to curiosity, from harshness to gentleness. Each time you choose not to follow a judgment, you are taking a step away from the exhausting noise of the fireworks and a step closer to the quiet, steady warmth of the sun. You are learning to see the whole world and yourself with kinder eyes. Thank you for following the podcast. We will meet again in the next story. Be well.